Hello, Nilla Waffers. I'm pretty sure that's getting old soon. Welcome to episode 2. Today I'm talking about add-ons, and I'm not really going to talk about here's the optimal add-on setup, or here's the add-on setup I use, because frankly the add-ons I use change a lot, or at least they have recently. So really, what I'm going to be talking more about is where do you get add-ons for vanilla WoW? Um, uh, Reliable sources for those add-ons, and the kinds of add-ons that I use and why. So the first thing you'll notice is that I'm running WoW in a window, and I've got YouTube up here on the side. This is how I normally run World of Warcraft, unless I'm raiding or doing some other kind of serious time. This is what my desktop looks like. So I need to be able to make things very compact, and yeah, that's about it. Compactness is important. So for starters, look down in the description, and there are links to some specific add-ons that I use to their GitHub pages. But more importantly, there's some links to forum threads that sort of aggregate many different add-ons. I'd probably stop Frostadamus's stream there. I don't know if he would care for me duplicating that in my video or not, but that was just there for demonstration purposes anyway. So what kinds of add-ons do I use and why do I use them? A big thing for me is being able to rearrange the hotbars and shove them all into one part of the screen. That's a personal preference thing. I don't like my bars like spread out all across the screen. Because I do a lot of click casting, obviously not on my main rotation spells or important stuff like sheep and counterspell, but for things like eating and in like my portals and junk like that, I like to have those on a hotbar, and I like all that to be pretty much in one place. And I also like to remove a lot of the default junk that comes on the UI, and I'm using Mod UI for that. So Mod UI, this guy, he does a lot of stuff, including raid frames and all kinds of stuff. But that's sort of the number one thing I do is make sure I can have all of my bars all in one spot. Second thing is font replacement. I have this particular font that I like to use for everything, even here, replacing the sort of script text. I like to keep a clean sans serif font that's easier for me to read. Something I haven't mentioned yet is that I have some vision problems that aren't 100% correctable with lenses. So that's also why you see such a small screen resolution here. This is 720p. This isn't just for recording videos. This is how I normally run my desktop and my laptop. And this is because of my vision problems. So I like to bump up the font size a little bit. I like a very clean, very legible font. And there's a link in the description for how to change your fonts.
How are you?
Let's see. The next thing is bags. One bag. Okay. This is probably, I distinctly remember this is the very first add-on I ever had. Like way back in the day in World of Warcraft, was making all my bags fit into one window because it just drives me nuts. Um, Same thing with your bank bags and everything. And again, Mod UI does this. There's a number of other add-ons that will do just this, but Mod UI also has this rolled into it. Quest tracking is important. So, like over here, this makes, I forget how to move it. There we go. So this makes it look a lot like the current WoW client, where there's quest, a running tally of the quests that you need to do. So I've got the Nomergon quests up right now. This is an add-on called Questie. I've done a lot of research, or a lot of digging anyway, and it looks like this is the only currently maintained, like, usable quest tracker, but it's got some bugs, it's got some issues. What I'm currently using is the latest, the last release of the 2.6 branch of Questie, and I have a link to that specific version in the description. But I found that to be have fewer bugs and be more stable than later versions of Questie, the 3.x line. So having a cast bar and unit frames that you can move around and customize is also important for some people. For me, it's very important, again, because of the visibility stuff. So like when I go to cast something, I want to be able to see it very clearly. I don't want, to have to look up here in some teeny tiny area. And in fact, that's not really where I want it. So this is the Mod UI options menu, and it lets you move stuff around. I thought, yeah, I'll figure that out later. So again, Mod UI is what's doing the frames for me. Now there's another one. So you see this right here, it's showing me my blink cooldown, so I don't have to take my eyes off of what's going on to look down over here and see how long blink has left. This is what's generically called a cast time or cast cooldown. I'm sorry, cooldown watcher. The particular add-on I'm using is called cooldowns. It's all command line interface for the configuration, which kind of sucks, but it does the job. So let me think. Well, okay, KLH Threat Meter. So this shows me the target that I'm targeting, who has threat on that target, and it highlights my name in red. So as a DPS, that's very helpful. So I know when to slow down, so as to not pull aggro. And that's about all of the important stuff. Oh, something that lets you go to map without blanking out your entire screen is useful. Again, Mod UI does this. I think Atlas will do that for you. MetaMap, I believe, also does that. Don't quote me on that. Questie is what's putting all these things all over the place. Some things that I don't have running right now that most people like, so I don't have equip compare. So like if I go to one of my menus here and I hover over an item, it doesn't show me what would happen if I equipped that compared to what I currently have. So I need to get something like that set up. There's a lot of things that do that, a lot of add-ons that do that. I just haven't got it set up right now. Yeah, so I think that's it. Let me just let me hop on the boat right quick, and then I'm going to actually check my list of add-ons. So I was just looking at my list of add-ons there right quick. So what I did find, or what I'm forgetting to mention, there's this WoW Instant Messenger, WIM. It's very nice for, like, if I, let me just see who's in the guild. We'll say hi to this person. So if I whisper someone, it comes up in a separate window and not in my chat. The advantage of this is that if someone whispers me and I'm in the middle of a fight or a raid or something, it's going to pop a window instead of just flying by in the log and me never seeing it. Also, I don't have to deal with it right away. So it's like if someone, like, say I'm doing a dungeon or whatever, someone whispers me, it pops up this frame. I hit escape, goes away, and later I can say, okay, who was that? Just left click on the icon, pull up the conversation, see what was going on, and reply to them too. So I don't know if it was obvious, but everything you type here goes straight to them. I hope I'm not annoying them too bad. There's also an auction house add-on called AUX that I can't show you right now because I'm nowhere near an auction house, but it's basically just a auction house UI on steroids. It's not a bot or anything like that. It's just a replacement for the normal Blizzard UI. That's a lot cleaner, a lot easier to use, and you can also save your searches. So if you frequently search for the same things over and over again, it helps with that as well. Yay! Let's see. Right. The last thing, EQL3, Extended Quest Log. So this makes the quest log to where you can see more quests at the same time. You can see the quests and the quest description at the same time. Some sort of quest log extender I would highly recommend, because the default vanilla quest log is... Alright, well, that's really all the add-on types that I want to talk about. So I got randomly disconnected from the server, which is why that sort of ended abruptly. Elysium's been having some issues with random disconnects over the last few days, which is a bummer. Just keep in mind that it is a big job trying to run a game service like this. That is why you pay Blizzard your money to actually access retail. So try not to be too hard on these guys. I mean, they're donating their time and their effort to do a job, which is to give you a free game service. Yes, we, the community, pay the lion's share of the hosting costs through our direct donations, but they're still out there volunteering their time, a significant amount of their time, to actually administer the service and keep it running smoothly. So when things aren't running 100% smoothly, you're going to do a lot better to just give those people that are doing the work encouragement and support instead of just trash talking them. So that's my my soapbox piece about that. All right, later.